I got that nerd rage. Nerd rage. I got that nerd rage. Nerd rage.
Hello all, I am Drew.
I am wary.
Well, real quick, positive note. By next show, we should be on our new equipment. I received 2/3 of it today. The rest of it is supposed to be here within the next couple of days.
A plus.
Yes, so, now, ladies and gentlemen, I am about to show you something that he hasn't seen before, and I want to get his honest reaction right here for you.
If this is 2 girls, 1 cup, I'm gonna smack you one.
No, it is not. From right after I say this, when I show him on, this will be the image for the rest of the show. Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be. Oh, that's cute.
I thought it was rather entertaining.
Not as awful as I was imagining.
No. So as you can now see on your screen, that is the image that I got from online that I just showed you. It is Captain America and Spider-Man doing the Saiyan
I can already
fusion.
see it. Why are you describing it?
Because some people may not understand it, they may not get the reference. They're doing the Saiyan fusion thing.
Yeah, the fusion
And-
thing.
Yes, and then so in that vein, I have a bit of a, not a challenge per se, but a bit of a brain tickler. I was going through, when I found that image, something that I found online. It didn't get much traction on the thread that I was looking at the time, so I'm hoping that you and I and our subscribers and listeners will get into this. It was a battle scenario. Team 1, Wolverine and Deathstroke. Team 2, Captain America and Spider-Man. To the death. Now, here is the caveat, the kicker, the end-all be-all. This is an amoral universe. There are no morals at all. So, morals off.
Morals are subjective anyway, so.
Well, that's even actually a discussion we could have at another time, which I could actually prove you is incorrect, but I won't steal Matt Slick's
I'm just saying,
arguments.
like, you know, you do something in the Bronx that might just get you smacked upside the head. You do someplace else, it could get you killed.
Well, that's not necessarily morality. That's how people take offense to things. Like, you could drop trow in Paris, and I don't think most people would notice. You do that over here, you're going to get arrested.
There is a distinct urine smell in Paris, I've heard. Like, no lie, like, that is what I have heard.
All right. We're going to get way off already, and I was hoping to cut this one kind of short today. All right.
Okay, Deathstroke and Wolverine versus Cap and Spidey.
Now, hear me out. This was my scenario on this. I would have immediately had, and this is something to think about. Captain America has a mind for military tactics. Period. Shows in the comics, and even shows in the movies. He would have originally had himself go up against Wolverine merely to slow him down. His vibranium shield would cancel out the effects of Wolverine's adamantium claws. He's not going to get torn up immediately. There were some objections I heard that in a few of the comics, Wolverine really took it to Captain America. We're talking morals off now, though. Cap is always going to take, it doesn't matter what condition a perceived ally is in, even if he's not mentally right, he's still going to hold back a lot because he doesn't actually want to hurt an ally. So this is morals off.
Okay, so that's why the morals off is in, just so people won't say, well, he'd hold back, he's Captain America.
Stuff like that, yes. Or in Spider-Man's case, where he refuses to kill people too. The whole, with great power comes great responsibility.
True, but when your only weapon is webs, it's not.
It is not his only weapon, and I'll get to that in a second.
First off, I'm just saying, like, when you got like claws or bombs or whatever that bladed batarang is, like, I mean, when you got stuff like that, the I don't kill people thing is more apt to come up than just, hey, I swing around and sometimes I say a witty one-liner.
I'll get to that actually in 1 second into what's going on.
Okay.
But so that was the entire idea, was literally Cap would just go to try to slow Wolverine down. Spider-Man would initially go after Deathstroke for the simple fact that Deathstroke simply cannot keep up with Spider-Man. Deathstroke's main ability basically is the idea that he can predict what an opponent is going to do because, just based on his ability to track motion with his eyes
That
and
does
things
not
like that.
come up well in the Suicide Squad comics, I can say that much.
It doesn't as much, but that was originally the whole point. Beyond the fact that he has a heightened healing factor, not to the extent of Wolverine, and obviously not to the extent of Deadpool, he can heal, but it does take a little bit of time. But the whole point being that Spider-Man's entire fighting style is literally based on the idea that it is completely unpredictable. He can move so fast. He is unparalleled in his agility and his balance. Period. There is no character ever, DC, Marvel, I don't care, that has his balance and his agility. That was the whole point. So in a matter of a few moves, we're talking Spider-Man, who has been he quoted himself as having the proportional strength of a spider. He's actually something far more powerful than that. According to Stan Lee, he used that as a benchmark, but that it was on the conservative side. That pound for pound.
It's not like he can just watch a spider and be like, okay, show me what you got.
Yeah, exactly. Now, pound for pound, he's actually among the strongest Marvel characters. Because obviously, you got the Hulk. He's huge. He's going to be more powerful because of his bulk and size. The Thing, same thing. But, and this is what I'm saying, that simple power, he could easily shatter Deathstroke's skull in a single blow. Easily. Even through armor. We're talking, he can pick up a car. I'm pretty sure he could throw a punch enough to break through armor. Even that being said, you mentioned his webbing. It's already been theorized that a piece of his webbing that is no more than 1 inch wide, not thick, but wide, could hold the Thing indefinitely. It is that strong. You webbed him down. You webbed Deathstroke down because aside from his weapons, he doesn't have super speed or super strength, really. Those are fairly average, especially in superhero, supervillain roles. Web him down real fast, and then break his neck. It won't take much. You break his neck. Even if that doesn't put him down permanently, which I'm pretty sure it would because he's not Wolverine and he's not Deadpool. You break his neck, he's done. You've severed the spinal cord that's not going to heal or regenerate for him. Now you have a 2-on-1, or at the very least a 1-on-1 between Spider-Man and Wolverine. Now, they fought before to a standstill. There are some comics also there's a few outliers that have him defeating Wolverine and vice versa. But here's again the point. If you remember, I'm not sure if you do, I don't know how much you follow the comics. A little bit? Alright. In the Back in Black arc for Spider-Man, he breaks into prison.
Oh, this again.
He beats the crap out of Wilson
Yes.
Fisk. What was the thing that he threatens to do at the end? He threatens to unload an entire cartridge of web fluid down his throat because it hardens in a matter of seconds. If you do that to Wolverine, Wolverine is dead. You cannot regenerate if you can't breathe.
Wait an hour.
By an hour, he's long dead. All brain activity has ceased. All heart activity has been long gone. His brain has completely begun to degenerate. He's dead.
He survived worse.
And here's the thing on top of that. Even if, say, that's the case, you've got an hour, that's more than enough time to drag him to the nearest deep body of water or deep wet cement and toss him in. Done. Over.
You seem to confuse amoral with utterly logical. And I honestly don't think it would square up like that.
No, you don't think that a Spider-Man who no longer has limitations, and he actually mentions it a lot
I'm
of
talking
times.
about the parents.
Ah, okay. I was going to say, because in the comics he mentions that he always seems to have to pull his punches on just about all of the people he fights because he's afraid of killing them.
Well, he's afraid of killing them. Doesn't mean he's gonna kill them.
Well, in one of the
I mean, if
earlier
Rick
comics,
Moranis is afraid of going full hog on you, it doesn't mean you're gonna die if he actually does.
well, one of the things that he mentions, he was in a fight with the school bully Flash Thompson.
That's a teenager. We're talking like superhero.
No, that's what I'm saying. But here's the thing: he drastically pulled his punches to the point that he's throwing, feathers at him. Glances off of his chin, just a glancing blow off of his chin with a severely pulled punch, and it still threw him out of the ring. That's how much he pulls his punches.
This must have been like early.
We're also talking about Spider-Man who went toe-to-toe with Superman and fought him to a standstill.
We all know why that happened.
Why is that?
Fans.
So
You can't act surprised by that.
So anyway, in my outcome, I'm not saying it's going to be lopsided 2-1 or 2-0, because Cap may well be killed by Wolverine. Wolverine does have more ferocity behind him. Although a morals off Cap, who knows what he's capable of doing. But I still think in the end, at the very least, Spider-Man is the only one that
He
walks
seemed
away
pretty
from
morals
this.
off in Holy Terror.
Which one?
Holy Terror, the Frank Miller one.
Why don't I remember that one? I have to look it up.
Fan reaction to it was unfavorable, largely.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, considering who he is, and he's supposed to be the
Part of
consummate
the
moral person.
premise of it is this is basically this is still a guy from the 50s and 60s. He's gonna be a bit racist. Like he's gonna get along more with the old people than he is with the young people. Like he may be young, but
mentally he's still back in the 50s.
yeah,
Is what you're saying.
he's still worried about Elvis's hips destroying a generation.
Nice. Well, here's the other thing. In terms of Deathstroke, he's already amoral.
Oh yeah, he's
So that doesn't affect him in the
that's
slightest.
definitely something that I've picked up from him in the comic books.
Wolverine is nearly amoral to begin with anyway. When you think about it, he's a very loner, and if you come after him, he's not going to hold back at all. Doesn't matter who you are. So, in the end, that doesn't really affect those two very much, but it's a drastic change for Spider-Man and Captain America. So, that was the way I came to it. I mean, I was
For me, I honestly thought the two military-themed people would pair off against each other, the gunman versus the soldier.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's another way
And
to go.
whereas with Wolverine versus Spidey, it just be a matter of persistence versus agility and evasiveness.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, this is just me. I always got to give it to the people with the healing factor,
Mm-hmm. I can understand.
especially when it's two of them.
I can understand that, but like I said, the only reason I would disagree with it a little bit is because Deathstroke's is so limited
Well,
in
for
his
him,
healing
for him,
factor.
well,
If
true.
you think about it, he got shot in the eye and he never got the eye back.
True. But for me, for the way I see it, like he can be so far removed from the battle that at any given point he can, take pot shots at, say, Spider-Man to try to throw him off balance, or to distract Cap. Even if he is amoral, he does have to worry strategically about the validity of his own partner.
True, but I mean, that's also thinking further out. This was considered more in the terms of chance meeting, like the Wolverine and Deathstroke were already together and they chance met. It's not like they pre-planned it, because if you
But
pre-plan,
still, I mean, it doesn't mean he can't pull I'm backing out of this and just going up the top of the building and putting on Lee Harvey Oswald.
well, he's not going to be able to, because he's going to have at least one other person chasing him. And if it's Cap, Cap would have the athletic edge over Deathstroke.
Well, it depends on how far apart they see each other from, too.
Well, you're going to be close enough, and either way, if you run off, someone's chasing you. You're not going to get away. And even if you do, by the time you get to that point, there's a good chance that your other person has already been overwhelmed, because you have Cap and Spidey on one guy. If you do that, somebody's getting through and getting
2
to you.
words. Smoke bomb.
That doesn't fool Spidey's spider sense, though. He'll know right where everyone is. You also can't shoot him because the instant that you bring a gun to bear on
shoot
him,
him. I'm saying throw him off
as
balance.
soon as you know that you do that, though, it's not going to throw him off balance. Even if it does, it's not going to be for long enough to do you any good. He's been literally shot at with full automatic fire and been able to dodge them. That's how high his agility and spider sense works.
I will say this. Given all this, the fact that he got cut by the Green Goblin in the first movie...
Yeah, that was... The only thing I can say is
Although I
two
suppose
things.
the fact that... How does he always get caught by frick, what's his name? Doc Ock, then?
In Doc Ock's case, it's not usually that he gets caught. It's usually, like in the original...
He does get hit, though.
Yes, he will get hit from time to time, and usually that's when he stops relying on his spider sense and starts trying to plan and think out in a battle. When he's in battle, he'll let his spider sense run. Prior to a battle, like in his first meeting with Doc Ock, he took no preparations. He'd been wiping out thugs left and right, and so he just thought he'd just walk through another, paper tiger. Except that in this case, Doc Ock was prepared for him, had studied him, and he had. If Spider-Man is given time to prepare and study his opponent, and then
So it's the Batman principle, then.
Kind of. That's why when Screw attacked at Spider-Man, Batman, they threw them together, chance meeting. That's why in this case it's chance meeting, because otherwise.
I will say, speaking of Batman, have you seen the movie?
No, I have not.
Have you heard what people have been saying about the movie?
A little bit. Spoiler alert. I think I heard somebody say they offed Superman.
Well, Doomsday's involved, so what do you think?
They bring in Doomsday into this, huh? Wow.
Oh, right, I forgot. You don't watch the trailers.
Now, the only trailer I saw is the one where Batman and Superman are duking it out. So, yeah, that's all I've ever seen is just the two of them duking
some
it
people
out.
I know just try to avoid all trailers if possible.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, Doomsday's in it, and what happens when Doomsday's involved. Apparently, from what I gather, it's a merging of two of the more prominent Superman story arcs. Superman versus Batman, and the death and life of Superman.
Okay. So they're basically just going to probably do the whole, he goes into hibernation and comes back bit like they did in the comics.
Not from what maybe in the next movie,
That's
but
what I'm saying,
as far
yeah.
as this movie is playing it off, like, he is dead.
Really? Interesting.
Although, from what I gather, Gal Gadot is a wonder. No pun intended. I just realized that as soon as I said it. I'm mad at myself now.
Nice.
You probably didn't see it on the post yet. Fully Kuli?
Oh, no.
Fully Kuli.
No.
Seasons 2 and 3, baby. Hey,
No.
I'm as I'm not tepid, but trepidatious about this as you are, because it was all self-contained. So one of the main characters left. The other one pretty much got over the majority of his issues in regards to his personality flaws, and there just doesn't seem like anything left unless it's like what Halloween 3 is to the Halloween series, where it's like, no. I mean, like, you, man, so negative. Where it's like a completely different, set of events set around a completely different set of just randomness. And the other part is writing for randomness, especially other people's style of randomness, is never as easy as you may like to think.
No, I
So
can imagine
that's
that.
the other thing I'm worried about.
Yeah, because I mean, people have tried that before, and it doesn't work well.
Oh God, I have seen some awful ones.
Oh, but one last thing, because we're running well past the time we wanted to stop by.
Can I have one last thing after your one last thing?
Certainly. I was just going to mention really quick, Dimension W. 12th episode, and it's done.
Oh,
I've already seen the end, so it's not bad. Doesn't end too badly.
That's good.
So,
For me, it is.
sorry, I've kind of dominated this.
Oh, but anyways, sorry. So my monster is kicking in. No, the thing I wanted to talk about was production schedules /release dates.
Okay.
This is becoming an issue for our cartoon watching generation. I mean, it kind of started bad with Legend of Korra. I don't know if did you ever watch that?
Yes.
Then we're like, there was just so much chaos around that where they weren't even sure they were going to get a season 2, and then they found out they got season 2 like months before it was even supposed to go to air, which is largely why season 2 I guess was the worst. And then they finally got
very rushed. Yeah.
Yeah. Then they got the third and fourth seasons guaranteed. So they're like, okay, we can do like overarching stuff. We can set up characters that aren't going to pay off until the next season. We can call Henry Rollins, give him something awesome to do.
Yeah.
And then, oh no, we've been hacked. So here's what we're going to do: 2 episodes a week. We're not going to screen them online. And then, without telling anybody else ever that we're going to do this, once we're caught up with what was leaked, then we're going to start streaming them only online. You can't watch them on TV.
Yeah.
And they did that. They're like, it's Korra in danger, and you won't find it online. And then like 2 weeks later, it's strictly online.
Yeah.
With all the back episodes, in case you missed them.
Yeah.
And the same with season 4. And then they shorted them in episodes, so they have to do like a stupid clip show, which it was funny. They made the best of it,
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the beginning of it for me. Then you got Gravity Falls. First season, it was good. But the second season, oh my god, the second season. It seems like it was twice as long as the first season for some reason. And it would be like, 3 weeks without a new episode, 1 new episode, 4 weeks without an episode. It'd be like, is it canceled? What's going on? It's just...
Yeah.
And just, if you've listened to previous episodes, you know my feeling about the finale. Could have used an extra season. Now, they've been showing leaked images from some upcoming episodes of Steven Universe, which I swear it's been months since. I don't think there's been a new episode this year. I could be wrong, but I don't think there was
I don't know, honestly. I don't follow it closely enough.
Maybe like early in January, if there was.
Yeah, I don't follow it closely enough to know.
Well, I've been waiting for new stuff, so. And apparently, like, the person in charge of this stuff at Cartoon Network, they love the Steven bombs, where it's at 1 new episode every day of the week.
Gotcha.
So apparently that's how all the new episodes are going to be coming out now.
I was going to say, all of their shows happen like that.
No, not all of them. Not all of them.
Well, they'll run it in a block. Like
Well, yeah, they'll run it in a block.
Well, they'll run a week of brand new episodes, like they did that Teen Titans Go. They'll do a week of brand new episodes.
I thought that was pretty much just they ran like episodes every day of the week, but they only had like new episodes on Thursdays. It would seem.
They did for a while, and then for a while they were doing. Well, hey, for this week it'll be 1 new episode of Teen Titans Go. Then the following week it'll be 1 new episode of Adventure Time every night. Then the next week it'll be 1 new episode of regular show. They just would keep doing that over and over and over again, and then they stopped doing that for whatever reason.
This is gonna sound weird. I kind of want to get into regular show.
Meh.
No, just somebody once told me it was like a show that was meant for Adult Swim, but somehow got onto Cartoon Network.
Yeah, there's a lot of
adult
references and humor in it. Yeah, that would most kids are just gonna go right over their heads.
But no, I stopped watching Teen Titans after I kind of grew tired of the inane situation.
The original Teen Titans was cool.
Oh yes.
Teen Titans Go sucks.
It had some moments before like the just inane.
Yeah, they're just
screaming and just. Although that one meta episode they did where they watched the old Teen Titans.
Yes.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah, a little ironic and a little twisted. Yeah.
Yeah, it's character development.
And then all of a sudden they find out that it just ended and they can't find any more of it.
The way it ended, like, why would it end there?
All right. Well, on that funny little note, we're now almost at 25 minutes.
Still short for us.
Short for us, but long, 10 minutes over what we were going for.
Hey, we're getting there.
We're working on it. All right. So don't let the timestamp scare you away. Let our voices.
That should be our thumbnail. Just a giant sign. Don't let the timestamp scare you away.
Nice. Maybe I'll figure out a way to do that. All right, everybody. Until next time.
Ciao for now.